Hi, welcome back to the Blissful Heart channel. My name is Desiree Lee, and I am here to give you your bliss fix. Today we are investigating a special message that I received for the collective for the month of July about being assertive. What are we being assertive for, and what's going to happen if we do it? Welcome back to my channel, to all of my subscribers, and for anybody that's new, I am here delivering you messages that I channel from the divine. I am also a twin flame in full union, so I have my Divine Feminine University courses that I create. If you're not following me on Instagram, you absolutely should. I've been coming in every Friday, sometimes Saturday, and doing a good 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour live reading for the collective, or I'll sometimes pull cards for people depending on the vibe. So it's always fun. It's always a good time. You can join me on my Instagram. Plus, I typically put some really inspirational posts as well. On the note of talking about things I do, I also have a Patreon page, and on my Patreon, I release Twin Flame timeline video once a month, and it's for $1. So not only are you supporting me and my services that I'm giving to you free here on YouTube, but you also, if you're a Twin Flame, it's for Twin Flames Not in Union, and it's a nice timeline reading of the month and what to expect. So a lot of my subscribers have found me when I was not in union, and I've been in union for a little over 3 years now, and you know, the fun is never ending. Right now, my twin and I are healing our childhood trauma, which, you know, is so fascinating how our upbringings are so different, and yet our trauma is so much the same. So, you know, it's really cool being in a partnership with your best friend. Here we go with this special 9-card spread. We've got some witchy vibes coming at you today with the Green Witch Tarot and the Herb Crafters Tarot. And then I have a couple other special decks that I might be pulling in for backup. Now, this 9-card spread, I took a video of it with my camera because I just wasn't sure how to present it. It's very interesting in terms of the read, and you know, this is the first time I'm doing it for a YouTube video, so we'll see how easy it is to express it, right? But I came in with the question to my divine spiritual team, you know, because in that live on Instagram, which is still available on my IGTV, you can check it out. But I got 4 cards that said be assertive. Almost 2 of them specifically said be assertive, and then 2 of them were referring to the concept of being assertive and kind of just laying down rules, and one of them was about like finding balance with your finances. And so I've, you know, done some other spreads and cards readings, just trying to kind of develop and understand the power of this month of July that we're going through, that we're starting already, that we're in. And it's very intense. There's very strong messages coming through for love and for career, okay? And it's like polar opposites, and you're going to see that right here. So in the center of this spread, that is our focus point, okay? And we got, this is crazy, right? From the Green Witch Tarot, I pulled card 18, the Moon, and then from the Herb Crafters Tarot, I pulled the 19, the Sun, St. John's Wort. Now, St. John's Wort is known for like aiding depression, alleviating sadness. So for any of you that do struggle with sadness, this could be a sign for you to check out herbal remedies like St. John's Wort. But, right, so here we have the mother energy of the moon, the feminine energy of the moon, and then we have this masculine father energy of the sun. Now, the question was, why are you talking about being assertive. What do we need to be assertive about? And it says this is really about balancing your dark and your light. This is really about your divine feminine energy and your divine masculine energy. And yes, because I am a twin flame reader, I reference it quite a bit. So I just want to say to anybody that's watching this, if you are not a twin flame, that's okay. You definitely have a soul partnership, right? And so I feel that while the twin flame journey is very specific and unique, in the realm of love and partnerships, you have a divine partner. Now there goes my light. Okay, so the center of this topic of being assertive is circulating around the concept of our divine feminine and divine masculine. It's circulating around this concept of balance. We're going to start with card 1, which I pulled 2 cards for every area. Here we have the Knight of Athenes, which is the Knight of Swords, and the 2 of Fire, which is the 2 of Wands. So the Knight of Swords is like very proactive. He's assertive, right? There's that word assertive. And he's like on his way to like make a decision or to help someone. There's definitely this like momentum, and there's also this kind of youthfulness energy with the Knight. So we have this very positive, strong movement forward with the Knight of Swords. And it's also, yes, referring to like making decisions. Okay, so it's about like making decisions and doing it with conviction. The 2 of Wands, or the 2 of Fire, is very much about like a new person or a new aspect being introduced that is achieving balance. So again, in regards to a relationship, this could be somebody new entering your life or your relationship evolving to a new level. And then with career, we're looking at a possible, promotion or raise, or an evolution of a larger project. But we're definitely seeing and it could be that I'm hearing you could be getting assistance with a project. And specifically, they're saying that if you're an entrepreneur, and you might be hiring an employee for yourself, that we're seeing this idea of strengthening, right? It's kind of building this bond, strengthening, making clear decisions, and there's a creative spark with the Fire. So in this particular deck, I'm going to refer to the guidebook here on the bee balm and why she chose the bee balm to represent the 2 of Wands. And she says that spicy bee balm remedies heal with a kick. Walk with flames of passion under your feet. Though excitement and fear may charge your actions, be confident about what must be done. Like these striking flowers, we attract what we desire when we show our bold, colorful selves. I mean, yes, this is also a message that we're going to be hearing a lot. We're talking about speaking your truth. This is very kind of throat chakra energy, or chakra, right? We're definitely looking at an evolution of self. I've been hearing a rebirth of self as well, which we'll get into. So for card 2, we have the 5 High Priest and Madre of Fire, time. I mean, another parallel. And the thing about this particular spread, right, is that they're all influencing the center cards of the Moon and the Sun, or they're being influenced by the Moon and the Sun. But there's always this reference back to the Moon and the Sun, right? So here we're seeing this male high priest that is very much an awakened divine masculine, right? And then we have the Madre of Fire, or the mother, the Queen of Wands, okay? So again, both of these male-female energies that we're looking at are in a space of power. They're in a space of making things happen. We're definitely feeling this sense of kind of magic or mysticism. There is a sense, this is just power is what I keep hearing from my guides. And they're like pointing to the Madre of Fire and saying like she is creating something, she is making something, right? And this is what they've been really wanting everyone to hear very clearly. And this was definitely a message that came through yesterday, was like, you need to tell your guides what you want, and then you need to actually help them help you make it happen. So, again, like the reference I think I used yesterday was a house, but like if you want a car, go out and start looking at the cars that you want, go to a lot and test drive one, know what it feels like, what it smells like, what color you want, look into how much it would cost, like whether or not you have the money, whether or not you're actually able to buy it. You have to start making those steps towards it and see what happens, So with the time, we're all learning here together. The author chose time because just like remedies made with time, she is warm and wholehearted. She attracts people into her home. She radiates vitality and love. Embrace your inner glow. It warms the hearts of others. So the Madre of Fire inspires others by living an artistic life. She teaches from her actions. She is upbeat and accepts life's paradoxes, and she knows that thyme is both a popular kitchen herb and a superb medicinal plant. But this is definitely something that I've been hearing a lot from my guides, is that there's going to be some sort of paradox that we must confront and shift. There is it's like what I'm hearing is that you have been, doing some law of attraction stuff, maybe some affirmations or journaling or even just meditating on, but there's definitely things that you have been wanting and asking for in some way, and you've only been going halfway. And so it's like, and part of it is, yes, they're like, and part of it is this mental paradox that you need to, understand and wrap your head around and like basically, rewrite it. Like you have to investigate this paradox that you have and figure out why it's a paradox to you. Okay, so moving into card 3, we have 4, the Horned God, which is the Emperor, and Madre of Air, or the Mother of Swords, with Motherwort. Again, another masculine-feminine alignment, and we're seeing like a man in power, an awakened male energy, the Horned God, right? The Emperor. This is a man that knows what he wants and where he's going. This is a man that is deeply connected with nature. This is a man that is empathetic and connected to animals and wildlife. It's a very evolved consciousness, right? And they're saying that, in a negative reversal situation, this could represent an over-egoic male energy. So they wanted me to bring that up. I think that might apply to at least one of you that's listening to this, where you might be in a relationship with either your shadow twin or a karmic partner that is not the person you are supposed to be with. And this is your message for you, that it's time for you to end that paradox, like end the lie, like stop making excuses for them. They aren't treating you right. You do deserve better, and you're wasting your precious time here on this planet to live in love and joy with somebody that is preventing you from doing so. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but that definitely was coming through, and it's kind of an offshoot of this spread, so it was meant for you. So then when we have this Madre of Air, this Mother of Swords, we have a woman that makes clear choices with conviction, right? She is a woman of conviction, is what they're saying. This energy is very much about like clearing space, right? We see her like, what is this tool called? I'm sure it says so in the book. So this tool that she has is called a bowline, and and motherwort is very prickly. So the prickly seeds scratch her, but she tightens her grip and begins to harvest. She vigorously cuts away at the dense forest of motherwort. The Madre of Air is led by a deep sense of integrity. She cuts right to the point, even if it hurts. Like bitter motherwort, her words may sometimes be hard to swallow, but clarity opens the path to truth. She knows her values and makes quick, rational decisions without doubting her choices. Just as motherwort softens those with spiky disposition, the Madre of Air diffuses tension with others using humor and wit. She soothes unchecked emotions and allows common sense to come forward. She understands that execution of purpose comes best from a calm, loving center. Embrace your sharp edges. They create the container for your tenderness. I mean, this is very much, I feel like, in terms of the message I got for the person that needs to end a toxic relationship. Like, this is about being clear and concise with a little bit of tenderness, but being direct, right? And using that concept of an awakened divine feminine, like an awakened mother energy of like, them's the breaks, kids, but like this idea of a mother that is communicating clearly and saying what needs to be said, knowing that it might hurt some people's feelings, right? But doing it anyway. And so, yes, again, this is very interesting, this dynamic. We're going to move to card 4. We have the 9 of Chalices and 6, the Lovers, Hawthorn. I mean, the 9 of Chalices is very much this concept of like love and unity and coming together. It's this idea of feeling emotionally supported and fulfilled. And it's not the 10 of Cups, right? It's nearing this completion point of a cycle. But it's definitely like, the thing about the 10s is while it is a completion point, we all know that the cycle must continue, right? So there's going to be another lesson, another journey. So to me, the 9s are almost more joyful because you're still in that kind of heightened space of like reaping the benefits of everything you've done 1 through 7. 1 through 8, and like knowing that you're gonna get ready for something new, but I don't know, there's just still like that kind of anticipation of everything coming together because you're seeing it happen, but it's not quite there yet. I don't know, I love that area of the journey. And then the Lovers, as we know, is very much about unity with a divine partner or a soulmate. And then for the Lovers card with the Hawthorn, we're looking at 2 crowns that are used to bring divine union, and that hawthorn opens the heart and ignites passion. So relationships based on shared desires lead to sweet rewards. This is very much about following your heart. And, I just want to remind you that even though I didn't pick the cards live on the video for you, I was just shuffling and picking. And like the alignment of this spread is just off the charts beautiful to me. So, this is very suggestive of union, and it is very much, about love. However, this whole, like I said in the beginning, there's love and relationships, and there's career and projects, okay? And so, hopefully in your career, you're in love with your career, right? Hopefully you have a hobby that's a project or something that you're in love with, And so this also suggests this idea of finding alignment and, a kind of coming together of a project, like something is nearing completion with the project. And I'm hearing like that it could lead to something more. It can lead to possibly, some sort of promotion or, like the project itself, you might be like soliciting it for money. But I'm just feeling like there's a big reward in this. And yeah, there's some sort of coming together, right? So, it might be just like if there are if there are any issues with your coworkers or your boss, or I just feel like there's going to be some sort of release. And they're, again, talking about this paradox. I really want to just define paradox for you, because I think that it will help everyone listening right now to better understand what Spirit is referring to. Okay, so the definition of paradox is a seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement or proposition that, when investigated or explained, may prove to be well-founded or true. Example, in a paradox, he has discovered that stepping back from his job has increased the rewards he gleans from it. I did not set that up. I didn't read that. Wow. So maybe the paradox is that you need to care less about what you're doing. Care less, do less, and you'll get more. I don't know. That could be the paradox. That's the example that we got. I feel like that was divinely offered to us right now. So again, I'm not going to go back and talk about card 5. We know that's the moon and the sun. That's our center locator here. So then in position 6 here, we have the Queen of Pentacles and Hija of Fire, California Poppy. So Hija is daughter, or in the case of the tarot, it is for the page. But I love this idea of like the maiden and the crone, right? We have a kind of a young, passionate energy with the Hija of Fire, and then we have this more kind of mature, like responsible energy with the Queen of Pentacles. So, and I'm looking at the line of energy, right? So we have that lovers and the chalices with the moon and the sun, and then the pentacles and the fire and the wands. So we're definitely seeing this kind of idea of like reaping the benefits of your effort. In the case of a relationship, this could be, you know, the relationship moving to the next stage. Maybe it's, you know, getting engaged or married. Maybe it's getting a house together, or purchasing something of value together. Maybe it's saying I love you for the first time, you know. And in one person's case in particular, it's saying, you know, we're done. And this like deepening of a relationship is with your own self-love and self-respect, knowing that you are worth being treated great, you know. I feel as a person that was in toxic relationships, but you know, my relationship with my shadow twin was incredibly traumatic, and you know, was a replication of childhood trauma. That's what that's for, you know, is to trigger that for healing, right? So it always comes down to this idea of self-worth and recognizing your value. And I just want everybody watching this right now, male or female, you know, that you are worth love, and that you deserve love, and you're an amazing person inside and out, and you may not be perfect, but nobody is, and you're just doing the best you can, right? And that is great. That is perfect. Just being yourself is perfect, and you are going to be with that perfect person at the perfect time. It's all designed, you know, and the more that you can kind of just go into a space of caring and loving for yourself and appreciating and enjoying life every day, like the more likely that you're going to end up in that fairy tale fantasy in your head, right? I just want to give hope to anybody that feels like there is none, because there is. And I always think that if my twin and I had ended up staying together longer when we first met, which we were together for like almost 2 years, it was like a year and a half, but you know, how bad would it have been? We were both so wounded and injured and not really mature enough to be, you know, dealing with the trauma. So I just feel like what a perfect plan the universe gave us, you know, and you have a perfect plan as well, right? Your guides are working hard for you. So this is, in regards of love, there's definitely this sense of like fulfillment and stability, and for career, I'm feeling like this person, you know, is finally being in a space of like, finally, finally, all of the effort I've been putting in is finally paying off. There's like this financial reward. And I'm hearing too a potential for a new idea for starting a new career or expanding a career that you already have, like a side hustle maybe. But I am hearing like a spark of an idea coming. So either way, I love how this Queen of Pentacles looks so rested and at peace. It's just like, it's finally done. And that is definitely, again, this reoccurring theme. Like July, most of July is still going to be kind of this completion of June and beyond, but June was incredibly intense, and so we're still kind of tidying up and cleaning up those loose ends for most of July. But by the end of the month, we are going to be seeing a huge like turnaround in terms of things coming together and there being a payoff. So then we move to card 7. We have 3 of Wands and 10 of Water, or the 10 of Cups, which is right below the 9 of Cups and the Lovers, right? And then above that, we have the Knight of Swords and the 2 of Wands. But I do feel like there's a lot of fire and water energy, more so than the others. Yeah, there's definitely a ton of fire now that I'm looking at the spread. So this 3 of Wands is suggesting some sort of a journey or a trip somewhere. So it could be quite literal, like you and your partner are going on a vacation and you're leaving town, and it could also be like a career change, like you get a promotion and it's transferring to another state or even country, but you're super excited about it because you're not incredibly like attached to where you're at, and there's going to be a pay raise, and where you're going is very exciting. So I am feeling like someone in particular has like a really cool like change of life coming, and then alongside it we have this 10 of Cups, red clover, which is very much about like fulfillment, right? This is that 10 energy that I was talking about with the 9 of Cups. Here we are with the 10 of Cups. So taste the nectar of deep nourishment. Serenity rises from the roots of gratitude. Compost breeds contentment. Serenity is born from nourishment of the soul. Experience the joy and stability of your dreams coming to life. When you feel refreshed and happy, freely share your good fortune with others. Radiate peace and abundance. Red clover needs to be planted only once to flourish on its own. Trust your wishes to unfold without interference. The tea is as delicious as its healing. The road to well-being can be filled with harmony. It can be this good. So I love that. Red clover restores the soil underground. That's why she chose red clover for this 10 of Cups energy, is that it is like healing and peaceful and regenerating. I feel that, again, there's this really amazing sense of completion, and it's very much after some incredibly turbulent times and a lot of hard work and effort. So I feel that there's like this sense of peace, and there's like, which, okay, so funny, right? So that 10 is that completion energy, but then this 3 of Wands, this 3 of fire, is like talking about an adventure or a change or a move, a weekend getaway, right? So it's like, we have both. We have this idea of something finishing and feeling like satisfying, and then we also have this idea of a journey beginning, right? So what they're saying is that we already know what the next cycle is going to be, and they're talking about this this sense of intuition elevating, where you have a greater sense of like what's coming, and to trust your intuition. So then we move to the 5 of chalices and 3, the Empress, Rose. So just to note that we have the Emperor and the Empress in this spread, as well as the Moon and the Sun, right? So we definitely have a very repetitious note of masculine, feminine energy, and it's all circling around the Sun and the Moon. So with this 5 of chalices, it is like a time to not worry about the past and to be in a space of pain or what ifs, wondering what could have gone differently or how you could have done things differently, or did you make the right choice? And, it's like, this is something that somebody told me at some point in my life that I always, use whenever I'm in a space of doubt, because that causes pain, first of all. But you obviously made the right choice because you made it. So whether or not it was right for you, and it was exactly what needed to be done. If it wasn't right, you wouldn't have done it. Right? I hope that translates. So we're definitely seeing this kind of like, I always see this, it's so funny in this 5 of chalice card, and I think of pouring one for my homies because she's pouring this water out of her chalice, into the earth, and it looks like it's a tombstone of sorts. So there is this sense of loss, right? It's not necessarily like the most positive energy, but the message is like, if you hold on to this past pain and you carry it with you into this new journey, this new elevation of self, that you won't be able to really fulfill your purpose. And it's only slowing you down and holding you back. And that being said, there is a time for mourning, and that is necessary if it is something that serious. You definitely want to give yourself permission to mourn, and perhaps even, find someone that you can talk to, a professional, if it is a dire situation, someone that can help give you guidance and help you through this, right? And parallel to it, we have that Empress energy with the rose. I just love that she chose a rose for the Empress. So being vulnerable yet strong, nurture love and compassion, see beauty and abundance in every stage of life. Oh, so roses uplift the spirit and inspire love, embody sensuality in bold, vibrant ways. Wild roses are prolific, creating food, medicine, and shelter for all who encounter them. As all parts of the rose contain medicine, every stage of your life finds passionate expression. Create, make, love, play. It is a fertile, generative time. I love this idea of bringing love into this pain, right? That it's very sweet and powerful and nurturing. And that is definitely that Empress energy, is this nurturing. And so it is a time, yes, it is a time for self-care and really like just getting serious with your self-care, I feel like when you talk about it or hear about it all the time, you're like, yeah, like take a bath or something, go get a massage. Yeah, I get it. It doesn't have to be something that costs money. You can do something for yourself at home, but really it's about being patient with yourself. It's about, honoring where you're at and not forcing yourself to move faster than you need to. But again, one of this paradox message, or this idea of like evaluating some untruths that you might be holding on to. And it's so hard for us to change the way that we look at things if we don't question our beliefs and what we see. So I feel like there's this very big message in terms of like truly looking at your core belief system and seeing if there's any room for growth there, right? Meaning like maybe some of your belief systems, some concepts in your belief system are holding you back. And this could be being so stubborn that you are obsessed with the idea of coming into union with your twin flame. And meanwhile, you're so focused on your twin flame that could possibly never figure it out, right? that you're passing up, like enjoying your life as a single independent person, or, you know, maybe going on a date with somebody new and opening yourself up to new energy, fresh energy, right? So there's definitely this mothering energy here. And yeah, so we haven't really had anything that's like all masculine now that I'm looking at it. Everything has had a touch of femininity in it. That being said, let's move to the final spot, 9, Page of Wands, 8 of Fire, Ginger. So the 8 of Fire is Wands, and the Page of Wands is fire, right? So we got this double fire energy. And this Page of Wands is, again, this very sweet, kind of curious, playful energy that has a gentle amount of power behind it in terms of creation and like making things move in your favor. And this 8 of Fire with the Ginger is like this kitchen is on fire, right? So I want to see what she says with the Ginger. But, you know, again, we're in that 8 slot of nearing completion. And the fire energy is, I'm getting like intensity here. Adapt swiftly to unexpected changes. You can handle the heat. Act quickly when inspiration strikes. Inspiration comes from all directions. Can you handle so many things at once? Like the busy stove in this kitchen, everything begs for your attention. Change is happening quickly. Swift action is needed or you may become overwhelmed. Ginger warms the body and fires up energy. When creative possibilities spin all about you, fast, focused movement is key. This is not the time to pause and consider, but instead to respond with urgency. Ginger is the spicy medicine, but you can handle the heat. Make a ginger elixir. That sounds delicious. I just saw a butterfly outside the window. So there's a sense of intensity here, you know, and an urgency. And it's definitely a kind of calling back to this idea to make a decision and to be assertive, right? To clear out the debris of all that does not serve you and finally like make that choice that's in your best interest. And so one of the things I want to mention, you know, before I forget is that if any of these cards of the herbology tarot spoke to you, you can, you know, acquire any of these medicinal herbs or flowers to bring more of that energy into your life, okay? So what I'm hearing from my guides right now is, you know, to ask yourself, do you actually know what you really want? And what are you willing to do to make it happen? You know, it's interesting to think about this idea of wishing and wanting, which I feel like this is the human condition, is like getting trapped in the frequency or the vibration of longing and wanting, right? And like once you acquire one thing, let's say you want a new car and you get the new car, but then once you have the new car, you want to get, you know, some car seats, and then once you have the car seats, you want to like upgrade for some extra things. And it's like, I feel that it's very much the human condition to be trapped in a cycle of longing and wanting. And so what Spirit's saying is that it's very important for you to, you know, come into this space of gratitude, of recognizing what you have, and then to get clear and very specific on what you want and what you have to do to make it happen, right? And so that's something I talk about frequently with law of attraction. It's not just the, you know, writing the affirmations and meditating and visualizing and you know, journaling what your goals are and your dreams are. It's like, what are you doing about it? Like, do you want to be a fashion designer? Well, guess what? You need to go to fashion designer school. You know, you can't just like wish for it to happen. You have to actually learn how to create patterns and how to use a sewing machine, and like, you've got to learn all of that. So don't let your dreams be some pie in the sky that you think is just going to land in your lap. Be assertive about making a choice, right? So I just kind of want to like do a brief overview of the diagonals and the lines here and see if I missed anything. So on this top row, we're seeing a lot of action. We've got, the Knight of Swords coming through with clarity. We've got this High Priest and the Madre of Fire and the Madre of Air. And I mean, the Madre clearing the motherwort, and even though it's prickly, and it's just, there's a lot of, and we've got, 3 masculine energies, 2 feminine energies. It's very powerful and it's very assertive. There definitely is no doubt happening in that lineup at all. And I feel like, again, so Spirit's mentioning that for some of you, you need to tap into more of your masculine energy, which is fire, and in the sacral chakra. If you have any yellow-ish, sometimes it looks a little orange, but or smoky quartz is also a good stone or crystal to work with for your solar plexus chakra. That can help. But definitely, we're talking about taking action. This is very much action oriented. And then in the second line, the second row, we have this kind of theme of love and peace. There's definitely like a sense of completion. There's a sense of joy and peace. It's very heartfelt and very pure. So you take that as you will, but this is definitely referring to, I would say, more of a feminine energy in regards to, the centeredness of it. It's more relaxed, I want to say, than this assertive, kind of aggressive energy in the top row. And then in this bottom row, we definitely kind of have both of that, right? We have this 10 of Cups and the 3 of Wands with the journey and the completion. We have the 5 of Chalices with the Empress, about like kind of nurturing and releasing and surrendering. And then we have this fiery energy of creation at the end. So if we combine them with the diagonal energy, from the left to the right, again, I don't know how I'm going to show these to you, but we have that Knight of Swords with the 2 of Fire, crossing over to the Page of Fire and the 8 of Fire. So a lot of fire. And, from the opposite diagonal line, we have the Horned God, the Emperor with the Madre of Air, Motherwort, and the 3 of Wands and the 10 of Water. Again, well, this one I'm seeing more of that duality of like masculine, feminine energy, and then a journey and a completion, a starting and a finishing. Ultimately, what I'm feeling here is that it's time for you to make some choices. You want to get clear on what it is that's no longer serving you. You want to get clear on what you want, and you need to do what needs to be done. For many of you, this message is about like opening up your throat chakra and like really saying the things that need to be said and not being afraid of the outcome, of like standing up for yourself, of speaking your truth. Who are you? What do you believe in? What are you here to do? Like, even if it's just you saying it to yourself in the mirror, it's really important for you to be super clear on what it is you want and what it is you don't want. And obviously we don't want to manifest negatives, because those don't, the universe doesn't hear negatives, right? So you can't say, I don't want to be poor. You have to say, I want to be rich, right? So I feel, quite honestly, that there's this epic journey that we're completing this month, and I feel that it's up to you. You have to participate, and if you do, the rewards will be like beyond your wildest dreams. Like there is the possibility of full divine union here. There is the possibility of your side hustle turning into your full-time job. There is so much potential here in terms of like reward, right? But it absolutely is dependent on you getting clear and doing this final push, right? Because again, there's definitely some more like purging or healing or releasing or clearing, like however you want to say it, right? There's more of that energy coming through. But providing that we, are exercising our throat chakra and our solar plexus chakra, we will get it done, So I just am really thrilled to see this unfold, and I am sending so many blessings to all of you. Your angels, my angels, want me to remind you to talk to your spirit guides, your angel team, however you want to refer to them, okay? It's up to you. But you have a guidance team. Contact them by talking to them or writing to them and asking for their help. You're not alone. Ask for their help. If you don't know what you're supposed to be assertive about, like if none of this resonated with you, then stop thinking about it, because it'll happen on its own, right? It'll make sense to you on its own. And look for those paradoxes. Look for those things that are like seemingly true, but maybe not. Be open to changing your mind about things. That one is a really big one that I don't want you to forget, okay? I'm sending you so much love and light. If you really enjoyed this reading, you can always donate to me. Never expected, always appreciated. It's in my description box below for the link. And you can always check out my website if you want to order a reading from me. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And please share in the comments, share this video with others. Like if you can't give me money, share my content. I would really appreciate that. I love you guys so much. Many, many blessings.